guys, it's your girl Jasmine Angelique, and I'm back with another video. So this is Sunday. So as you guys know, Sunday is always my "What are you watching this Sunday" video edition, where I talk about what I've watched from Monday through Sunday. Well, I went to go see Black and Blue, and I have to open this up because I got some tea and some emergency. So I'm gonna drink that as soon as it like cools down. So Black and Blue, actually I was sitting at a restaurant last night and I'm like, let me write down these notes so I can tell you guys exactly what I want to say about the movie and really get out everything that I have to say about the movie, because I definitely have some things to say about the movie. I thought the movie was really good, but I felt like it could have been just a little bit better. But then I'm going to explain to you why I feel like they did it this way versus doing it another way. And that's just what it is, right? So the movie starred Naomi Harris, which I don't really know. She played in some stuff, but I really couldn't tell you. I know she was a Bond girl, I want to say. But other than that, I really couldn't tell you what she played in. The only reason why I knew she was a Bond girl was because they said it one time I was watching her interview when she was doing promo for this movie. And then it had Tyrese Gibson. It had Frank Grillo, who played the protagonist? Antagonist? No, wait. Protagonist is the good guy, right? Antagonist is the bad guy. So he played the bad guy. And if I'm wrong, please put it in the comment box, right? But he played the bad guy. That's what I'm going to say. And then you had Nafisa Wilson, who plays Thunder and Black Lightning. She played in the movie. And you had Mike Coulter, who played Luke Cage. And then you had Reed Scott, who played Naomi's Harris original partner, which we're not gonna sit there and say, we're not gonna say he's a bad guy or he's a good guy. I'm not really sure how you guys are gonna feel about this movie. So the first thing I'll say about it is basically it's about a rookie cop who lives in New Orleans, left New Orleans at 17 approximately, came back 10 years later, became a cop, and now she's dealing with learning her community all over again, and learning that everybody is not as accepting as far as like her community goes. It's not as accepting of her being a police officer. She's no longer, you know, it's like it's us versus them type of situation. So she's no longer a part of them, even though she's like, I'm still your friend, I'm still here, I'm still present. The one thing I would say about this movie is that it definitely set the tone right away for what the message was trying to carry out. But then it was like, it was just so much stuff. It didn't really stay on course, I felt like, to basically tell you guys exactly what it was saying. So in the very first scene, it opens up with her running, you know, going on her daily jog, and two police officers, white, pulling her over, throwing her up against the wall, you know, telling her like, oh, you know, who are you? Took her wallet from her. And then once they saw her, that she was a police officer, they were like, oh, she's blue. They handed her back her wallet. And the one cop, you know, still with a nasty attitude, because they don't give a fuck about black people. Them particular officers, and there's so many officers around the world that don't give about black people, whether you have on a uniform or not. They still don't give a fuck. The only reason why you have the little bit of privilege that you do have is when you're in the uniform. If you're not in the uniform, they wouldn't care less about you. And that just pretty much set the tone for what they were trying to portray on the movie. And it actually did it twice in the movie, because yeah. So, and the one thing I wrote down on my notes was that it said, what was one thing that, oh, it said, you know how it is, right? So when the guy was like, oh, well, we saw somebody, we heard somebody committed a crime and it fit your description. And the guy was basically like, you know how it is, like, Like, basically, like, you're black, you know what it's like to, you know what these people can do, you know what it's like, because guess what? You're also one of us. So then you just look at the black people in your community the same way they look at the black people in their community, but they look at you the same way too if you're not in your uniform. Like, that's fucking crazy. And so when you have all those things, the title of the movie is like, can you be both black or blue? Or can you be both black and blue? Do you have to choose? Can you be both black and blue to both your black community, the people you grew up around? Because she had friends in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like, she grew up with some of these people and they treated her like she was nothing. And then can you be both black and blue to your colleagues? And the answer is simply like, no, I guess. I think you can. And I think there are two different type of officers. It's officers that can do that when they do step back and they realize, like, people are just people, or they don't think that the people that they're policing is that bad. And then you have other police officers, and it's not just black police officers, but for the sake of this movie, we're talking about black police officers. How sometimes they have those white officers in their head, making them believe that, no, you're different, you're not like them. And I know for a fact I've had this happen, okay, to me, where I was sitting around a bunch of white people and trying to explain to them in a room, why is it that you wouldn't look at me like this because you know me? You wouldn't look at me like a thug because you know me. You wouldn't look at me as ghetto because you know me, because I'm able to come in here and I have an education and I'm able to articulate what I'm trying to say. And I'm not all out here, rah, 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 all of that stuff. Like, I carry myself with poise and with dignity 95% of the time when I'm in here, right? Except when I'm cutting up, okay? Because I gotta stay true to Jasmine and Jalik, okay? You know, they're able to separate, oh, you're not like them. And then they put it in your mind that I'm not like them either. So then when I go out in the real world, when I'm in my badge and my uniform, I'm not black anymore, I'm blue. And then they will go, some black officers will go above and beyond to prove to their white officer, their white counterparts, that they're not like the animals that they're fighting against. Because instead of them saying like, well, we're policing, we're protecting, and we're serving, it's like they're the jungle and we're the animal wranglers. And so they kill us down, they beat us up, they do all this stuff. And it's a proven fact. This has been going on for years. You know what I'm saying? You have to be strong in your conviction and know who you are to do a lot of things in this world. And it's not even just in the police world. Like, when I use that example, I did an internship with the police department. I hate to say it, but I did. I don't hate to say it, because I have a criminal justice degree. I take that back. What I mean to say is, I hate that I had to have that conversation with two people who think that, you know, that basically was like, no, you're not like them. No, I am like them. My brother's black, I'm black. And when I'm not inside these walls, any police officer can pull up on me and treat me any old kind of way, because they don't know me. Everybody in the hood is not, you know, running around selling drugs and killing, and people out here trying to work and make a life for themselves. You know, a better life for themselves. And that's just what it all boils down to. So, and I say that because that's the type of dynamic like you had with Naomi character. You had the officer who saw everybody for, you know, for who they were and was genuinely set out to try to make a difference. And then you have some officers, which you talking about that old guy, which his name was Brown. You know, he just like, he wanted to knuckle up, and they ain't give a fuck about him, because in the movie he got killed by the guy, you know, and they treated him like shit. But anyway, so basically the whole premise of the movie, I know I already talked, I ain't told nothing about the movie, but I told you about the concepts and the themes of the movie. But pretty much you know, in the previews, everybody saw she's supposed to stay in the car. She goes to this abandoned building and see one of the guys get killed by a fellow police officer. And the whole point is just this cat and mouse game of trying to get the camera from her, trying to kill her, trying to silence everybody else that's involved, trying to, then some kind of way, because they're dirty cops, which kind of diluted. I think what they were trying to say was like, that it only takes one officer, or that it only takes a handful of officers, or black or white, fuck, let's just be honest, right, to step up and make a difference. And then it was just so much going on that kind of took away from that, like, because as you guys know, in real life, they kill us all the time. So what if it was like one of those instances? Like, why did it have to involve necessarily like dirty cops, right? But I get it for the sake of making the movie entertaining, right? That kind of took away from the movie, because the cops was intertwined in the community as it relates to, you had crooked officers who was using people in the community to make them richer. I didn't like that part. I felt like if they were just I don't know. That part kind of just turned me off, just put a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth. Because as you know, things get, people record murders all the time, and the officers still don't get prosecuted. But it takes an officer also to step up and say what the fuck it is that needs to be said, and say, well, this is not what happened, and this is not what's right. And I feel like that whole scene with the cops being bad already, and then because it's so easy, and I was gonna say, like, yeah, maybe they could have turned it into like maybe where the guy really wasn't that guilty of anything, and they could have said, well, maybe we just planted some drugs on him, and maybe things got a little bit rough out of hand, and then somebody got shot, right? It could have been that simple. But then at the end of the day, they turned them already into criminals, which what we've been seeing has been, semi-good people, or to good people, or people that's not really doing anything, people that, selling loose cigarettes, but they ain't getting killed. Why are you getting killed for selling loose cigarettes? Why are you getting killed for wearing a hoodie and a sweater? Why are you being killed for just trying to be treated like a human being? And they took that part out of it and turned them into already criminals. Because what's the first thing that they do anyways when somebody dies? They turn them into criminals. So I kind of get why the murder part was just a little bit over exaggerated. But then if you think about it, it's like they're already seen as criminals. So it will be easy to turn that narration into whatever story they wanted to turn it into. And because she saw everything that happened, she could repeat everything that happened, not only from and she's in a uniform, so she may have a little bit pull than just Johnny old Sue off the street, or Johnny Mac off the street. You know what I'm saying? Saying, well, this is not what happened, and they did X, Y, and Z, and she has a camera and it's all on. So I get it, right? But the movie was great. There was a lot of layers to the movie, and you have to sit there and really dissect the movie to fully understand what is going on. I hate that this video, right? Like, you really have to sit there and like try to dissect everything that happened in this movie, because it was insane. You know what I'm saying? And it's not they didn't deliver us that typical, like I said, Philando Castile, or it wasn't like one of those where you look at it and you like, oh, they clearly didn't do anything wrong. They made it so that the person who got killed, you can look at them and be like, well, they did it to themselves, or they wasn't no good, or whatever the case may be, or it's not a big deal that they're dead. And coupled with the fact that there are officers out here that be teaming up with this is all true. It's all true. You know what I'm saying? But the movie was good. I recommend, I give it an A, like, minus, because it was just something that was missing that I can't quite put my finger on it. So I'm going to give it an A minus. And then, yeah, but I would definitely say go see it. I think Tyrese did a good job. I don't really think Tyrese really has to act, because he pretty much acts and does the same, like, movie roles or whatever the case may be. Like, I've only seen him in a handful of stuff, which is the Fast and the Furious franchise. I'm sure he, but he was a down on his luck type of guy, trying to, become better. And that was the thing, like, them officers, they didn't give a fuck. And that's how it is in real life. Like, they pull their gun out on you, you know what I'm saying, for no reason or whatever reason. Sometimes they don't even have to use all that force that they need. Once you get them under control, then you can you're going to put them in handcuffs and then you can relax. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go above and beyond. But this video was long enough. I hope you guys kind of sort of understood what I was trying to say. I hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, subscribe. It is 17 minutes long. Like I said, I'm going to go to Power, and then I'm actually going to just upload a whole new video because this video is long. It's so long. So yeah, peace.